Okay, I'm doing this video in response to a few requests on an update on the TDM900 front wheel modification mods and what I think of it. Rightio, let's get cracking. Okay, with the front wheel mod, I went from an 18-inch front wheel that the standard TDM900 comes with to a 19-inch front wheel from a Suzuki 650 V-Strom round between 2004-2006 model. Okay, so I put the front wheel on, the discs and the front forks and the front guard. The front forks are the same diameter as the TDM900s, so it slides straight into the triple clamps. Okay, so I first did that, and there was another video I've got out there saying about the brakes and what I've done. So the brakes weren't that powerful on the TDM, on the V-Strom 650, so I did a brake upgrade with this modification. So what I've done is I fitted braided lines, which I think I did have that in the other video, with Castrol reactive brake fluid. For further modifications, I brought these brake adapters from SV Racing Parts in the UK, and you can adapt about at least 10 different brakes to them. Different types. These are Honda CBR 600RR brakes. Okay, they were about $100 something each Australian from a Wreckers. The SV Racing Parts brake adapter was around about 120 delivered to Australia in Australian dollars. Okay, so what's that done to the handling of the bike? Okay, it's increased the wheelbase, obviously, because the 19-inch front wheel and longer forks has increased the rake of the bike. So therefore the turn-in is slower. It's say in anywhere between your 30 and 50 km/h corners. And in big sweeping corners, 60 upwards is actually a little bit more stable. So what I'm doing to alleviate that, I'm going to put a longer rear shock in the back from the V-Strom. That will increase my travel by 10 mil. And it'll hopefully then bring back the wheelbase similar to what it was before. And what I gain out of that is an extra 10 mil travel in the front, an extra 10 in the rear. Therefore gives me more ground clearance in the corners. So that's not a bad thing. I've also put these pegs on, E-Jobby ones, just for standing. It's a bit more comfortable. And also hand guards. So yeah, the front rims pretty much look identical. The V-Strom rim looks identical to the TDM rim, and I haven't done anything for a while because I actually had an accident on the bike. You can see that I've got to replace the rear pipe, and the Gibby crash bars did their job, as you can see. Otherwise I would have put a hole in the engine casing, more than likely. So not a lot of damage, but I got a head injury out of it, but I'm up and riding again now. So that's what I've done to the front end. Plus I also put the fork brace on. That's what I got from the UK, and that takes that flex out of the steering. All I'm going to do now is actually put I want to put progressive springs in, because I just feel there's a certain point where certain bumps where it just gets a little bit uneasy, and I think progressive springs will help that. Rightio. Okay, thanks for that. Future mods coming up will be, I want to put a bash plate on, which I've got modify a bash plate for it. And also I will be doing a mod on the rear shock, putting a bigger rear shock in the back, or a longer rear shock. And I've got to raise the seat because the original owner lowered it and it's a bit uncomfortable. That's actually an air hawk seat, makes it a bit more comfortable. So there you go, that's my mods to date. Hope we enjoy it. Okay, it's all about the ride. See you later.